Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing to keep you edifying. And I just wanted to do a video, all right, on the return of our Lord Yahushua and the great and magnificent fashion that he's coming in. All right. Everything that's happening now is leading to this climactic moment. All right. It says in Jude that even Enoch, seven from Adam, prophesied of this, saying, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. This was a key catalyst moment in the sense of, a major shift in the earth. This is the end of, when Yahushua shows up, it's the end of the heathen rulership and the forever rule of Israel on the earth, with Yahushua at the helm and King David, all right, and the rest of the 12 and the 144,000 in Israel will reign supreme on the earth. But this is the moment where victory will be claimed. Okay, this will happen. This is happening in our lifetime. This is happening soon. We don't know the day or hour, all right, but all the prophecies are lining up, man. So let's get into it. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. See, many different prophets were given this vision, because this is a major, if you took, literary classes or whatever, English class, they taught you I forgot exactly what it's called, but you had the rise in action, the climax, the fall in action, the resolution. We're almost at the climax, okay? Because the story doesn't end with Yahushua coming. The story ends for Esau, as far as him being on top. The story ends for these heathen and their time to rule, but this is the beginning of really the beginning of life, okay? Israel has only had spurts of sovereignty since we've been a people. We haven't ruled the world. We haven't ruled the galaxies. We haven't ruled the universe in complete authority over a long period of time. The kingdom of heaven will be the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, ruling forever with the heathen under our foot, man. They're going to build up our cities. They're going to come, giving us tribute. We're going to have their daughters. This is what the Lord has promised his people. All right. And these tiny tots, man, they're trying to reclaim that blessing, man. They're trying to reclaim that birthright and the blessing that was given unto Jacob. Now, Esau did receive a blessing. All right. And he's living it. See, the Lord even gave Esau a kingdom, man. Time and chance happeneth unto all. All right. But you see how how the world moves when the wicked bear the rule. The people mourn. All right, and Trump is the epitome of that right now. Trump, these tiny tots, all right, and you got the elite banking families, you got these technocrats, and they don't have a regard for human life. Okay? It says, and when he had turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. That's a terrifying sight when Yahushua comes back. Verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. See? So they burn, man. And you're going to have the nuclear missiles, going to go off that day. And you got Yahushua coming back on his fathership, as it's going to go into, man. It's going to be the great and terrible day of the Lord. Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So these armies are going to stop fighting each other. The armies of the world, they're going to stop fighting each other and turn and fight Yahushua and the angels. It says that in Revelation. There was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. That's the same prophecy. The Apostle John was given that prophecy, right? Ezra right here is given the same prophecy. Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place wherewith the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. They were afraid. All right, this is going to happen. This speaking in past tense because it's already played out, man. Now we're waiting on time to catch up to it. All right, Esau, your fate is sealed, dude. It don't matter which way you try to fight. It don't matter if you try to, you attack or you don't attack. It don't matter, man. Either way, you're doing the will of the Lord. Either way, whatever decisions you make, which the Lord puts the Spirit on you to make it, will lead to your demise, Esau. Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, right, they rose up against him with their jets and whatnot, and they got the Space Force. It says, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. See, that's the concentrated fire from that ship. It's gonna zap these damn jets and whatever Esau got, man. Because Esau got some shit. For him to be as proud as he is, he's got some shit he's been sitting on. Because he knows it's coming. And the Lord gonna put the spirit, just like he hardened the heart of Pharaoh, he gonna harden the heart of Esau and the armies of this world to fight anyway. Verse 10. Or actually, I read verse 10, verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one. They all got burnt up, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Man. And this was a vision. So imagine how it's going to be when this goes down, man. And we done went through Jacob's trouble. We done went through seeing so much death, great. All this is in the scriptures. A time of Jacob's trouble, like never before. It's going to be so bad. It says in Daniel, Michael the archangel is going to have to stand up. So when Yahushua comes and obliterates the armies of this world, that's why it says in Revelations, on his head set many crowns. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. He's coming to make war with the armies of the world, with the nations of the world. He's coming to subdue them under his rulership, because this was created for him anyway, man. And us being heirs and joint heirs, we reap the rewards if we endure unto the end. But this is coming, and this is what Esau is preparing for. This is what Esau is afraid of, but this is what Esau cannot stop. You cannot stop the day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua coming upon the earth. It is inevitable. Okay? I'm just blessed to be an Israelite. I'm blessed to be in this truth. Because it's about to be a terrifying day, and Lord willing, we make it, man. But things are happening. This is reality. Everything that you grew up thinking mattered didn't fucking matter. So I just want to bring this out through the Spirit. Lord willing, is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Makakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.